Well, a group of Senate Republicans demanding more information and testimony from top Pentagon officials in efforts to try and piece together what was a chaotic and botched withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan. In a letter sent to Senator Jack Reed, our next guest writes, we owe it to our nation, those who served, their families, and our allies and partners who fought alongside us to preserve the records of how our fight in Afghanistan concluded. The insights we gather will help prevent future loss of American blood and treasure, a solemn responsibility and sacred trust we believe all members of our committee will seek to uphold. Joining us now to discuss is Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. Thank you very much for joining us, Senator. So have you had an answer yet to your letter?
Yeah, we got an answer yesterday. Chairman Reed has decided, along with Ranking Member Inhofe, that we will have hearings next week. We'll have closed hearings and open hearings. Now, I'd rather not have closed hearings, but there might be a few things that might not need to get out because we still have people behind enemy lines. But we have to find out for ourselves and for the American people and our allies, what in the world why did we make these decisions? This has been a total disaster. Somebody needs to be held accountable. Unless we get them face to face and ask these questions, we're not going to get answers. So hopefully next week we'll start getting answers.
Give us a question or two you'd like to ask, because there are a lot of people agree. Does it just come down to who made this advice and who made this decision?
That's part of it. But the problem that we've got here is for the last 7 months, we've had hours and hours of hearings with our generals, Secretary of State, Sullivan, our National Security Advisor, Secretary of Defense. We've had them all there. We've asked them the questions over and over. Are we leaving? Why are we leaving? Can we get out safely? Is this going to be a Saigon? Are we going to leave Bagram Air Force Base? And over we ask these questions, and we got real good answers. But the problem is, and I like what President Trump says, we've got some generals that are TV generals, and we've got some military generals. And we want to find out who in the heck went along with this idea from the military side, because if you went along with it, you're part of the problem. And if you went along with it without saying, listen, I'm not in this, I'm out, I'm resigning, because we're going to get people killed if we do it this way. And so we've got to find the answers. We've got to get to the bottom of it. We know at the end of the day, President Biden made this decision. It was a decision, total disaster. You don't leave people behind. What in the world are we thinking? That's not the American way. I spent last week in Europe, Ukraine, talking to our allies. They're all going, what in the world is going on in the United States of America? We got more problems than this, but this was a total screw up.
Yeah, since you were talking about General Mark Milley addressed the botched withdrawal earlier this month. Here's what he said.
This is tough stuff. War is hard. It's vicious. It's brutal. It's unforgiving. And yes, we all have pain and anger.
So your response to that, and also a question, do you consider him what you called a TV general or a military general?
I consider him somebody that wants to keep his job instead of standing up and being a leader and telling people this is what we ought to do. He's the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. My God, man, step up. And if you think that we're supposed to take our troops out before we get Americans out and the people behind enemy lines, the Afghans, then you need to get another job. He's worried about white rage, CRT. The times we asked him questions, I asked him personally, this is not something that we bring a group of people together and we try to educate them towards society. Obviously, it's your job to build a team, but you're there to build a team that protects this country and our allies. Yeah. And if you're going to be like this, we don't need generals like this. And the Secretary Austin the same way. We need to get away from this woke stuff. We need a military. We need a fighting machine, and we need to protect the people in this country.
And so you say there will be hearings. They'll be behind closed doors. Who do you want to talk to? Do you know who's on that list?
Well, all the generals that were involved in this, we will make a suggestion who comes. Now, if some of them are busy, obviously, we've still got problems, and we just can't rush them into Washington, D.C. We can do it, I guess, from Zoom. But we'll get most of them there. We'll get some answers. Some will be closed now. Some will be closed because there's probably a few things we don't need out in public yet. But
Sure.
a lot of them will be open, and hopefully people will watch this and we'll get the correct answers. But this has been a total screw up from day one, and it's going to get worse. We've been lied to. Congress has been lied to.
Yeah.
The American people have been lied to. It is absolutely a disaster.
Painful situation. Coach, it's Thursday. Game day Saturday. Did you used to get butterflies on Friday night, Saturday? How do you feel nowadays, now that you're no longer coaching?
Well, you're busy all week long, but after about Wednesday night, you get into Thursday, game plan's in, everything's done. You can't do anything else. I didn't let our coaches change anything once you got to Thursday, and then you started getting butterflies and started thinking about Saturday night. But it
doesn't go away. You still get them?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I still get them. I still watch games. I feel for coaches and players, and I'm stepped off into another arena. This is not a game here. We just lost 13 brave men and women.
Yes, sir. That's why we wanted you here, and we appreciate you telling us. There will be hearings next week, probably a good bit behind closed doors. Thank you, Coach, for joining us. Senator Tuberville, thank you, sir.